All right, here we are, real life again. Thank you so much for being here. Um, let me know. Sorry. Let me know, please, if you can hear me well. I just got a different system over here, a different interface, and I'm just kind of getting everything ready. So this is the first time I'm using this new stuff. So let me know if it's too loud, if it's too quiet, if you hear me well or not well, or let me know in the comments if you hear me. All right, let's get started. Thanks for being here today for one more live stream. Um, Today we're gonna take a look at a great song and a really fun song. It's one of my favorite songs to play, and it's in 3, but we're gonna play in 4. So that's another cool thing we're gonna get to do today. This song is, of course, the great Bluesette by the really great harmonica player slash guitar player Toot Stillman. It's such a beautiful song, and it's being played for so many, and it's a pleasure to be working with that tune today. So if everything is working, let me see if we never know. I'm gonna try to check if everything is working. There's an old comment here. I'm trying to get this thing to work, but apparently it's not. Hey Tony, thanks for being here, man. You're becoming a regular in the streams. Hello to the Philippines, man. All right, let's get it going. The song of today is the great Bluesette. Let me do that cool thing here that we're gonna see the PDF here. So here we go. All right, it works. I like when it works. All right, this is the lead sheet, the real book version that most of us have probably saw and played. That's in B flat, which is it's a nice key to play, but as I have been insisting for quite a bit now, if you can get a key that really makes the song sing, it would be cool. It would be cooler, I would say. So is it possible to play that in B flat? Yeah, sure. As the other ones that we show, yes, we can do that, but we can make it better for this thing, for this type of arrangement. So we're gonna try to do that. How's it going, my friend? Plugging in from Italy again, another regular. Great to see you, brother. Yes, so everybody knows Bluesette, right? Right, it's in 3. We all know that. Most of you hopefully played that song before. Right, that's in 3. That's kind of the deal about that song. If you would play that kind of an octave higher, it's possible to do. You have to do a lot of kind of high register stuff, like. right? So it's kind of in the high register. It can be done, yes, as I said before, but we can make it better. And if we can make it better, we'll make it better. If you play in a different key, perhaps you will find a little more room to groove, and I think language is coming later. So if we try to Sambafy this tune, let's just start with that. Playing in 4 or 2 on this case instead of 3. That's already a big change on this tune, right? Because this tune is in 3, you know, supposed to be sort of a waltz, right? Right? But we will play that in samba, which would be in 2, so it would be something like that. That's gonna be a different flavor to the song, which is great. It has been done before. It's not the first time that they play this in samba. A lot of people play that in samba. Stillman himself recorded this as a samba in his beautiful album called the Brazil Project, with a bunch of Brazilian artists, and the last song of the record is Bluesette in samba in 2. A lot of people like to play that. I played that before in samba. My good friend Rick Pantoja, we played that in his show in samba. So it's a lot of fun to play that. And then we will tackle the syncopation right on, because you have to change the melody, right? You can't play like it just doesn't work, right? You have to adapt the melody into a more fitting rhythmic framework, as we talked about all the time. So syncopation is definitely something that needs to happen here. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, like a waltz type, in 2 will be 1, 2, 3. Something like that. So that kind of takes care of that part, right? What kind of syncopations I am using here? Let me go back to this angle here. One thing I like to do here is to have a little rest at the beginning, like a syncopation, to help with the syncopation, like a 16 note. I sing a 16 note rest, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and da, 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 right? So you start 1, 2, and then that start moving things on the upbeat syncopation that we want. So you finish with the syncopation on the next bar. 1, 2, that's cool. So that's what happens there. And then we can use the rest of those phrases. All those we can do in the downbeat. You can change that to syncopation, but you can also use in the downbeat there if you want. It also works as long as you apply that syncopation at the beginning of the melody, you know, about the phrases. Works well. This particular rhythmic framework works great, but we still don't have that nice key, right? You see that I'm singing the melody, which makes it easy, right? I can just kind of play the chords. If I try to play the melody as a solo arrangement, we will have a little bit of a range, not a problem, but just something that requires a little attention, because you'll be sort of in the middle of the guitar. So this is fine, but when it gets here, you get into the bass zone, right? We have to play triads here, and then later it releases a little bit of the range. So there's a little bit of a thing you have to solve there as far as the range. Let's try another key, shall we? This is in B flat, but how about if we play in D major? D major as in D as in dog. Let's see how it sounds. 1, 2, and then you tell me if you like it or not. 1, 2, 1, 2. I like it in D major. I have never played that song in B major, D major, which is cool. I was just messing around with this the other day, and that's a really cool key because you gain a lot of that range thing I was talking about. The melody is a little more separated to the high register, or it's a little bit easier to separate the melody into the top layer instead of being sort of muddied, you know, mixed with the middle and everything. So you have, you know, got a nice open string here. So I like this key to do the things that we have been doing. I think that's a great key. So if we stick with D major, yeah, let's go into the Sambafying part, right? The melody on this case is very, well, first of all, it's on different time signature, right? That's the thing we talked about already. It's in 3. So we need to bring that into 2, and you know, since it's designed for 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? How does that would feel, or you know, how we could put that into 2? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So it's weird to do that quarter note based, sort of in the downbeat version. We do need to syncopate, which is what we need to do anyways, right? We are looking for syncopation at all times here, to be able to apply the method, right? The system with the bass and everything. So as I was quoting before, just applying syncopations on the end of the beats, or the bars rather, sorry, it will already create that lift that we need, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That's pretty much what you have to do there to get that melody to dance, right? As I used to call. So we got a question here from Mark. Hey Mark, how's it going, man? Will playing in D sound as good on the 6th string? I think so. I think it'll sound great. If you, I'm trying to not play this 7th string now, so it'll be, you know. much what I just played was I played before, and I used the 6th string all the time. I think use the 7th string of the ending to come to this. I can use more, but right now I used pretty much, I barely touched the 7th string. So yes, the answer is yes, it's gonna sound great on 6th string as well. Thank you for being here again, brother. So yeah, as I was saying, the syncopation, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Getting that push in the syncopation towards the end of the measure. Sipping some coffee here. That's what you have to do all the time. 1, 2, 3, So there's always this sort of push and pull dynamic with the melody. It's sort of like a little elastic, right? Da, 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 and then you release, and that's on the downbeat. This is a weird analogy I came up with today on a lesson. Da, 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 then you release, da, da, right? Da. So it's always you push and pull. Ba, da, 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 right? You stretch the melody a little bit, subjectively speaking. Ba, da, 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 release the elastic. That's the sort of the dynamic of the melody to play the 3/4 version into a 2/4 thing. Yeah, so that's what you have to do there. Always looking for that anticipation, so the end of the beat. Right now, applying the Sambafying method here, you just step by step bass down, bottom layer with top layer, to get an idea what's going on. So you're gonna do in D. So 1, 2. That's what I'm doing. The idea, top versus bottom, you gotta figure that out, like how the melody will fit into this samba thing in binary, like in 2, 7, 4. We talk a little bit about that, and then you just have to practice both layers, to see what is doing what, right? 1, 2, ba, 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 ba. You see that the melody is always anticipated, right? Right? That's the idea here. Get the melody to play with the bass, as we usually do, and then properly start getting the layers together, the middle layer. I'll get there in a second. Let's get some comments over here. My friend Pablo, como estás, amigo? Great to see you, brother. Paulo, essa música chama Bluesette, é o título da aula de hoje, tá no thumbnail. Bluesette, Toots Tillman. Fala, Silas, tudo bem? Essa música chama-se Bluesette. Eu vou colocar aqui de novo. I'm gonna put here again so we can all see one more time. This is the song we're going to use today, Bluesette by Toots Tillman. It's in B flat, tá em Si bemol, mas a gente está tocando em Ré, que é mais a onda do violão, do arranjo aqui, tá bom? Bluesette, Toots Tillman. Linda música, beautiful song. So, as I was saying, 1, 2. Anticipation. You see, the melody is always anticipated, and then on that longer phrase, you start building towards the syncopation at the end of the bar, like. do that. And that part here, that part, you can keep that part in the downbeat if you want. Anticipate here. I always anticipate at the end, always, but you can keep that in the downbeat if you want, or you can anticipate that too, syncopate that. So it'll be. You can do that, right? Or also. Sort of apply this figure 8, 16, 8. So 16, 8, 16 tied, you know, to ba, big, ba, ba. You have this sort of full syncopation, so you can do both. It works as long as the end of the phrase you anticipate, you syncopate towards the next bar. So anticipate. So that part is always syncopated. You can put the downbeat in the middle. All right, cool. So hopefully you got the basic idea of the first step. Then the second step is to apply the middle layer, which will be most of the chords, where the chords are. All right, so see that I am putting the middle now, and it's almost there. We're almost there. There's still a little bit of groove left. This melody is, since we had to adapt from the 3/4 into the 2, we need to do those proper adjustments, and the melody is not super syncopated as we would like to, so the melody is not carrying as much rhythmic information. It is kind of a long notes, single notes a little bit. And we're going to use the groove there, right? Sorry, D. Here. So that's one of those songs where you have to mix the groove and the melody a little more rather than usually what you see. Most of the times I teach is the melody is busy enough to get rhythmic information, so you barely play in groove, and then when it's resting or long, you play the groove. In this particular song, you have to bridge the gap a little bit more of the melody and the groove, because the melody will, whenever it has these down beats, that's when we'll bring a little of the groove there. Melody, right? So melody always carrying information. On this case, you gotta close the gap a little bit between the part they play the groove and the melody. But this is sort of the plan for this song. I'll play in a little bit. So if I have some questions. Fala, Pedro, mestre. Quais os dedos da mão direita que você usa? Eu uso todos. Eu só não uso o mindinho aqui. Eu uso tudo. Todos os dedos. Tem que usar tudo. Então. So, let me try to play the song, the whole theme. We're using the whole technique, right? 1, 2, 3. played the ending. There's a coda there on the song. When you get to the part. It's a little more extended at the end, right? But then you can kind of jam at the end. But this is pretty much, how we will play this using this system, right? It works. Even though the song is in 3, we are bringing that into the binary, the 2/4 universe, and it's been done before, as I said. But the important things to syncopate anticipations on this ends of phrases. You can do that one right at the beginning. The 16th note. 1, 2, 1, 2, and ba ba be and then get the 2 ba be ba be ba ba. Always ba ba You see, there's always the anticipation. There's always syncopation. As you know, we need the syncopation to get this thing to work. So to make the thing move, to make the thing dance, right? So let's see. Moving on. Gabriel, great arrangement. Oh, thank you very much. Any chance you could record a solo version of Brejeiro? Yeah, that's a song that I haven't played. I don't know if I ever played this song, so that's a good one to try to tackle. Good suggestion. I'll keep this in mind and see what I can do with it. Márcio, como é que você tá, meu camarada? Márcio Piso do Brownie Hill. Rapaz, que bom te ver online, né? Na internet, o seu canal show. Pô, obrigado, cara. Bom te ver. Márcio and I were classmates in Brazil, in university in Rio. So it's great to see him. Obrigado por você estar aqui, cara. Um tempo que a gente não se vê, né? Mas que bom que você está por aqui no stream aqui. Obrigado pela presença. Again, you guys have any questions about any of this? Feel free to ask anything, anytime. I'm here to answer questions. Things you can do. You can do so many things, right? This is not even I haven't really stopped to fully arrange this. I'm just putting the system to work, like to have a basic idea on how the melody and the grooves would work together using the system. And this is kind of how the result of it, right? But you have many things you can do, like when you can move that kind of melody a little more and do all kinds of stuff. You can change the harmony, you can put pedals on it, another thing that I use all the time. Right? You can put pedals. Some pedals here, you can do that, which kind of opens up a nice area there. Mark asks, let's see, has a question here. When you anticipate the first melody note on the end, do you strike the bass not simultaneously? Yes, great question, Mark. No. The thing about playing specifically samba and some other styles too, but this whole thing is getting the bass and the bottom layer and the top layer. They will most of the times play differently. They'll play separately. Usually the bass on this particular style, like samba, bossa nova, and these things, the bass is very foundational. It plays on the downbeats, 1, 2, and the melody is the one who kind of goes around and dances and syncopates, right, and anticipates and all that. So a lot of the times the bass doesn't follow the melody. As far as the groove, if you're playing the groove, one mistake that I see a lot of people playing this stuff is they try to anticipate the bass along with the grooves. And you shouldn't. I will show you. Like 1, 2. See? Chords, bass. Chord, bass. If I do the melody and bass only, you see how they will be separated. The first note that you're asking, it's already there. 1, 2, bass plays on the downbeats 1, 2, 1, and the melody is kind of doing all the syncopation. So 1 and 2 and right. I'll lift my hand a little bit so you can actually see not your faceless picture there is like covering the bass. So the hand. So now you can see 1, 2, separate, right? 1, 2, but you see that the bass continues on 1, 2, 1, 2, like a clock. 1, 2, and then again, anticipated. 1, end of 4, end of 2, right? 1 and 2, and bass on the downbeat. So the trick here is the bass is always foundational. It's always on the downbeat, and the melody, ideally, you should move around and dance with the anticipations, the syncopation, especially that figure talk about 16, 8, 16, da, 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 da. That's kind of the core of the whole thing. 1 and 2 and ba, 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 right? It'll be C sharp for you. Ba, ba. Here, as I was saying, on this specific tune, the sort of the resolution of the phrase has an element of downbeat that you can play in the downbeat or not. If you want, you can syncopate that too. If you do play in the downbeat, it will be ba, be, ba, be, ba, ba, be, ah, be, ba. On this case, they'll be together, the melody and the bass, right? Ba, ba, then anticipated, separate, together, be, ba, separate, together, ba, ba, right? Then separate. So you can play those little spots together, but you can also anticipate those. Right? I can also do that. So separate, right? You have more syncopation going. If I want to put that with the middle, 1, 2, so the middle goes with the melody. On this case, the middle can go either way. Can go with the bass, can go with the melody. In this case, I'm using to just reinforce the top, the melody, right? So I guess I answered the question. The end is separate. As much as you can separate the bass from the top is better for the overall groove. And the bass is always foundational, always in 1 and 2. If I play a song like, Insensitive. If I just put those bass and top. 1, 2, 2, ba, 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 ba. You see how the bass is 2, 1, 2, 1. See the bass always foundational, always in the downbeat, and the melody anticipates and dances, right? 1, 2, and that part. That's why when I'm talking about these songs and applying the method, is always do the first step. That step first, figuring out the top layer melody most of the times, and bottom layer bass most of the times. Figure out how those two work together, because that's the the foundation of the whole thing. The middle, the parts of the chord is the easier part to put later, but you have to like sort of like figure out how your fingers will do this separation of the layers. You have to practice, like your fingers have to like actually move physically and get the memory of like how they separate. If you get that, it's more than, it's like 70-80% of the work there, right? That's the way to do that. All right, cool. Thanks for the question, Mark. I get more questions here. Andre asks, do you carry the melody mostly with your A finger, this one, right? And the middle voices with I and M? Great question, Andre. Most of the times, yes, I would say so. Since you have to do, you have to kind of take care of all these layers together. The tuba, of course, is mostly with the bass, the melody usually here, and the rest here, right? So on this case, there will be, you can see right here, so try to go slow, 1 and 2. I started with actually with the middle finger, and then sometimes, and then here. If there's too much going on in the middle as far as chords, then definitely this finger, the A finger, will take over and play most of the melody, because I'm kind of busy with that part, right? So here, this sort of call and response, right, in the melody, that kind of melody over almost that particular part, I play with the M, the middle finger. Then back to the top here. This particular melody has an interesting quality, because you have this leap, right? This sort of like a call and response type of thing in melody. So you have all this jump, right? This leap from one place to another in the region in the instrument. So I think it's just natural for, I guess, for me, or maybe everybody else who do it this way, to play. You already hear with the A finger, and then catch the middle with the middle fingers, like the part that is in the middle already. So I would say that particular melody, I guess it's easier to play this way, right? Because you have this sort of a dialogue within the melody itself, of that high part and the middle part, da, dee, da, dee, ba, ba. So hit the top with the A finger, and the rest with this, kind of within the groove itself, right? Most of the times the A finger is doing most of the work there in these melodies, unless there's something specific that I need to play, like like one note samba, right? When you're playing that, I have to practice that one. It's hard to play with the groover. So that's a mix of A and sort of inner, when the melody is kind of here in the middle. These two fingers do the job as well. That particular song, Bluesette, though, most of the time here, and a little bit when that melody leaps down, then I play with this finger, the M, the middle finger. Cool. All right, thanks for the question, Ben. Great question. Here he is. Single note solo playing in this contest is a bit complex. Yes. The the whole thing about single note solo playing while you have to play everything else is always a good challenge, right, my friend? It's you know, how do we manage everything? Because on this type of arrangement, you are having to provide everything, right? You have to provide the harmony, the bass, the groove, and play the melody and solo, right? So how to do everything? So if I do do a line like that, I just abandon everything, right? There's no groove, there's nothing. It's just a single line. How do you negotiate that, you know, and still kind of provide enough information? That's a good question. I guess the approach that I personally take is I hint the groove as much as I can in the beginning of a solo to keep the flow going, and I try to play lines that are kind of like within reach as far as securing the rhythm and everything. And then when I have spots for like cadences and things like that, when you move from one section to another, then I might break up the thing and then use a line to transition from one section to another. Most of the time, personally, what I do is usually create a descending line that leads to the bass. So then I can end the phrase on the bass, and then I play more the groove. Kind of gives a little push, you know, a little nice forward momentum, right, with the bass ending the phrase, so I can keep the groove. Let's see if I can play something like that. End of the theme. See here, I did it a few times, but you saw I took that line here and I kind of push all the way to the B string, so then I can come with the groove right after. So single line in this particular type of thing, most of the times I personally do it this way. Usually you used to transition from a section to another part, and sometimes I can do a pedal and then I abandon the pedal and play something. Or if I want to change the texture after a while, been playing groove, I can maybe do a round, like a chorus of just single melody as a element of texture, like to change it up a bit, right? To get from the full kind of chordal, harmonic, rhythmic groove stuff, intense, to, okay, let's halt all this and just play one melody. That helps with the texture, right? To create contrast. So that's how I usually would use a single line, right? And you can also use the so-called chord melody stuff, right? That kind of thing. It's not really my thing for this Brazilian stuff. I don't really use chord melodies, but single melody, yes, but with small doses, I would say. Thanks for the question, brother. All right. Okay, guys, lighter. Hey, Gabriel, thank you so much. Could you please show your interpretation of Wave? Yes, I mean, Wave was, I recorded the Wave, and I played some, it's one of the songs I mostly play in my life. So there's a lot of tricks there. We can actually do one session, one live on Wave. I can do that if you guys want, showing a bunch of tricks. But you know, I'll just play a short thing because we're playing Bluesette today. There you go. I go wait for you. Short version. Let me see. Questions. Well, okay, no questions at the moment. Okay, I think I answered those. Any more questions, everyone, on the Bluesette thing, and melody and whatever you wanna ask. I got my guitar back from the shop yesterday, and I finally got it to a high action, which is what I use. But this the Colorado weather is really being mean to my guitar, so this one was all over the place. So I got it back to a high action, but I haven't played at all since yesterday, so I was like, I'm having a hard time playing with the high tension, which it should be, so I should be practicing. Yeah, Bluesette, lots of stuff there. A pedal here you can do, dominant pedals. So you see I did this kind of cool chromatic pedal you can use there, which is a cool trick. All right, any questions there? If not, we'll call it a day, as I am so busy with so many things to do. I've got to compose stuff, I got to do all kinds of stuff. Also, the shameless plug of every session, right? If you want to learn this stuff again, dive deep into this system and how I come up with this system to play basically anything and put this into this Brazilian universe. Make sure to get to the Brazilian Guitar Institute. Right now we're in a waiting list. This is where this site's gonna get you to. A waiting list, so you get contacted by me. Now I can truly know that I will contact you sort of around the first week of January to get you on a Zoom call and see if you're a good match for a program. It's a 1-year program thing. Great program that we have. If you want to learn all this stuff, right? Right now, if you want to get a lot of free content, also there is a Facebook group, and I finally put the name of the group now, Contemporary Brazilian Guitar Mastery Group on Facebook, and that's the address that you can get there. There's a few questions you enter, but it's free. Tons of content there. A bunch of you here today are inside the group, so you know what's up there. There's a lot of content. Clips also from the stream. I'm posting there all the time as well. Sort of the best, the highlights of the sessions are always coming down there all week, and there's a great place to share stuff, but if you want to go deep, that's here. That's the Brazilian Guitar Institute. We're learning, getting the waiting list, and I'll be contacting you soon, first week of January, to get you in if you're a good match for a program. I will a few announcements. I am traveling to Brazil next week for 2 records that I have to do over there. I'm doing a solo record, which is great, and doing another project there. So next week we won't have, unfortunately, our live stream because I'll be swamped with studio work. But the following Saturday I'm gonna be in Brazil still, but I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna be in my hometown, so hopefully I'll get some cool views of Brazil for you. But we'll have the live in 2 weeks. So next week I'm out because I'll be super busy recording, so I won't be able to do the live for you guys. But the following week I'm gonna be posting everywhere, so I will be back again. I'll be doing probably 2 live streams from Brazil, and then be back to this background that you see all the time. Cool. If you have any other last questions, leave them here, and I'll play a little bit here, a little Bluesette here, and see what happens. try something like that. Thank you so much for being here today. It was fun. Thanks for the great questions today. And I will hopefully see you guys in 2 weeks again. If you want a lot of great free content in this stuff, go to our group on the Facebook right here. It's free. You have to answer a couple questions and that's it. And if you want to really get to study with me in a really more detailed fashion, go here to the Brazilian Guitar Institute, get your name on the mailing list. I'll be reaching out to you in the first week of January to get you in, opening for the general public. So it's been a pleasure. A few comments here. Marcus, good questions this week. Yes, it was great questions. Jerry, you sound amazing. What strings do you use? Brand engage. Jerry, I use Diodario Pro Arte. I talked about this the other day. Let's see if I have one here. Yeah, I don't have one right here, but yeah, I use Diodario Pro Arte. Extra heavy, extra hard tension. That's what I use. Right now, the 7th string, I'm using a Diodario one, but usually I use Hanabak. I get from a set of low strings they have. I think it's a pink kind of cover. That's what I use. Thank you for being here again. And Tony, thank you. It was beautiful to catch you up. Yes, thank you, man. Thank you so much for being here. In 2 weeks, because next week I'll be out in Brazil, and next session will be from Brazil. So that'll be cool. Hopefully there's some coconut trees behind me or something. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you guys in the next session. See you soon.